Alright.
We ready to go live?
I think we're live. Yeah, we are.
Perfect.
Yeah, so...
You wanna do the intro?
Yeah. Hello everyone. So yeah, here we are in Spain at the moment, so... Oh, we don't have, yeah, so... Here we are in Spain, so a lot of drivers today. We are here. So hello everyone in the chat. Hello to everyone coming in right now. So, we had a bit of bugs, coming into, last race in the pre-season in Russia, but I think we have everything. I have the chat open. The comments on the left-hand side are good. So we should be, manually under business. So yeah, today we are in Spain, one of the most difficult tracks for tyre wear as a definite, but we have some yellow flags sector through, probably some drivers slowing down. So, but yeah, so hello everyone. So I'll say hello to my commentator alongside, ND, if I'm correct. So hello mate, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? We're gonna have a good race hopefully in Catalonia after the pre-season in Russia. What's it called? Both quite average tracks, wouldn't you say? Not the best track to kick off the calendar, but we hope we will get some decent racing.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what we're gonna have to look for. As Ben Roberts is fastest at the moment, is sector 2 elephants, but that's probably most likely due to drivers slowing down to let drivers pass. So Ben Roberts actually putting a 10 in a banker time as a 1:16.135, pretty good lap from him. As now I think he's doing a lap at the moment, so that is at the moment, so on his telemetry, and he is so let's see now what he is doing. So we're gonna ride on board with him now. He's going through turn 3, so he's now gonna try and pin down to turn 4. You want to use as much track going into turn 4. He's doing really smooth. He's 4/100ths up, so he's finding time, and now he's going into turn 5. He's gonna try use as much track as possible on the right hand side, approaching turn 6. It's Lil King to the left. Now going to turn 7, really easy to invalidate. He makes that nicely, and he makes that really smoothly. Now he's going through the right-hander, blind right-hander for turn 9. Rear end does not snap out, so that's really good news for him. Let's see what his middle sector is like, and he's 2/10ths up, so he's got a purple middle sector. Hello to NDM in the chat, and hello Ray Fizz, subscribing at tier 1. So now what's going through turn 13. Hard to get a good chicane, but now going to turn 14 and 15, easy to invalidate. Now going through turn 16. He's going to try and possibly get pole position, and he gets it at the moment. So a 1:15.7, so he's improved a lot here. So we're going to see can anyone else bring up a lap time, but Timmy, so that was a really good lap from Ben Roberts, obviously in the final 2 sectors.
Yeah, it was a really good lap actually. We've got 2 drivers into the 1 minute 15s at the moment, which is really good news for the competitiveness of the. We've also got Jamie B. Surreal on the fringes of the 1 minute 15s. We might maybe even see a 1 minute 14 if we're lucky. Maybe towards the end of the session when the track's a bit more rubbered in. But right now we've got 1:15.7 as the quickest lap, and we'll see if anyone else has to challenge it.
Yeah, let's see who can challenge. Hello NDM. Yes, you are Natty. So yeah, and hello Rafe is in the chat. So we're in the weekend league in Barcelona. So the new people are supporting these drivers. So it's basically basically a bit similar to the F1 2020 esports challenges, which is basically a 25 a qualifying with 80 minutes. Then we have a 25% race. Then we have a one-shot qualifying, which is going to be not much grip. Oh, as Lowline gets a bit on the grass, that could have been really, really bad. But now, as now going to try to say that, but now, so basically, I think Lowline has invalidated. So hello, Cash Tango. So hopefully now you can see everything, because you probably won't not see that much because I accidentally done a bit of a technical issue, but then after that one shot quality it's a 25% race. So basically the second race is like a minimized points. So basically it's like a F2 format, which is basically got less points in the second race. It's basically a feature race and a sprint race. So hello Pierrick. You might be thinking, who's commentating today? It's Sexify. You can call Velocity if you want to, whatever you want to call me. And then we have Andy as well commentating for the full season, hopefully. But yeah, so it's very, very sunny around the Spanish track, one of the most difficult tracks for tyre wear. Obviously tyre wear is a main factor in this track. So I'm just looking if anyone's doing a lap, as on the Lolo's going through the final corner, DRS wide open. Let's see, and he doesn't improve. He's only 8 tenths down, so maybe he has made a mistake. But Brainsy has actually gone fourth, is fourth fastest in the mediums, so that is really, really critical. Obviously, Ray Fizz is not unfortunately here, but Isaac Smart is now going, I think, through a lap as he cuts the entire track. As you think he's going for an in-lap, yes he is. So I'm gonna now have a bit of a look if there's any penalties for today. So I'm just having a look with any if any penalties. There's no penalties at the moment.
Actually, I think there was a grip penalty for someone. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a Ferrari of someone. I'm not sure which Ferrari, but I think it was the result of Jimson or 19 being out of the competition, because just before we started I saw Jimson retired and someone had received a grip penalty, so that probably might have explained what happened there, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, so as Lolo actually is improved but not enough to get up a position, so he's going to try and look to improve. There's only 2 minutes, we're in a dying minute of qualifying, so we're going to see, can Eddie drive, can Mockshell, JB Cyril, the closest challengers to Ben Roberts, which is actually pole position, as his teammate is Isaac Smart, P10, so not the best qualifying for the second Mercedes, but now he is coming out for the final lap. So as he said there, ND, Jimson actually has DNF'd at the start. Before we were streaming, we saw that he DNF'd, and someone got a 5-place grid penalty for that, but we're going to see what that is in a short minute of time. So as now Orangey goes third fastest, so he actually gets third fastest, which is really good. As now JB Cyril is going through turn 5. He's gonna sorry everyone, my throat's a bit itchy, but I'm now going through turn 7 and 8. He's gonna try and beat Bill Calm now as he's going through the blind right of turn 9, and he nearly rear nearly snaps out. Now he's going into turn 9. We are go on turn 10, I think, or turn 11, but now he's going to turn 12 now, as he's now trying to make his way to the flag as he mounts that curve really nicely. He hasn't invalidated, and he's invalidated. He's went too wide in the corner, as now he can't do another lap unless he's on a 2-run fuel, which is really unfortunate. But I'm going to check if anyone has said anything in the chat. So
Actually,
yeah.
Just to cut in there, sorry. Ben Roberts actually extended his advantage. He's now 4 tenths up on Moksha. He's got a what's it called? A 1 minute 15.4. So we're really trying to push the 1 minute 14 fringes right now. I think Ben Roberts is the best man to do it at the moment. I think he might be going for a second lap. He might be just charging up to try get another lap in. But I really hope we can try get a 1 minute 14.9 or something. It would be really, really great to see.
Yeah, so yeah, hello Gavra in the chat, Gavra Racing. Yeah, thanks for sub Rayfizz, really means a lot. But yeah, we're gonna see. Ben Roberts, I think, is the man confirmed in pole position. So we saw that Rayfizz unfortunately did not race, but he was looking really fast into the thing. But now, as the checkered flag hails all over the circuit, now we're going to see Moksha is actually not on a lap. See, anyone's in a lap was Jaho. Oh, as he's gone really wide going into turn 4 at the exit of actually turn 4. So that's absolutely very bad news for him, as he was actually on a lap, but he's definitely not going to improve because he just went on the gravel as this yellow sector 2, as Isaac Smart is in on a lap, exiting turn 4. Now he's going to turn 5. He's lock up on the front left. Not good news for him, as now Isaac Smart is going through turn 7 and 8, easy to invalidate, or as nearly invalidates actually, so not good for him, as now we're going to ride on board with him now, so as now is invalidated, only 10/100ths behind, so very, very unfortunate for him. So that is going to bring the end, so as MRCS goes 10th faster. So the two AlphaTauris, MRCS believe is the replacement of Rayfizz, or Rayfizz is actually not a replacement, or is just racing in the weekend league, probably just a replacement. But yeah, so that brings an end to the first qualifying. Jimson actually is DNF'd, really unfortunate for the man in the McLaren. So yeah, only 15 drivers are taking part, but now we're going to see everyone's now coming through the pits, and Jaho is not going for a lap, so we have to unfortunately wait. So yeah, but that brings an end to all the qualifying. So that is going to be the end to qualifying. So yeah, but we're going to now have a look to the gaps of all the drivers. So obviously, look how close Orangey is behind Moksha, only 8 milliseconds behind him. So that means Orangey's going to have the best opportunity to win, because the mediums go a bit long around here. I'm only about 10 to 12 laps around the Spanish Catalonia circuit here in Barcelona, but as everyone's now crossing line, we've got to wait until the timer ends, which is on the top right. Rayfizz is not driving today. I don't think he's driving at all. Maybe he replaced him. But yeah, that's not. But yeah, as Muckney P14, with the McLaren. So McLaren had a bit of a wretched performance, as Low Lion is actually the man who got the 5th-place grid penalty. So Timmy, not Timmy, sorry, ND, did you see any contact with which saw Low Lion get that 5th-place grid penalty?
I didn't actually. I saw it was at. I can't remember what corner number it was. I'll try get it up to me, but I think it might have just been. I think what probably seems the most likely thing to happen was Jimson probably slowed down, and I think Low Lion might have just rear-ended him or something, or it might have been the other way around. Anyway, it didn't really result well for either driver, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so that was really unfortunate, but Rayfizz has actually broke his hand, so really unfortunate. Hopefully you'll get better really soon. Rachel did a good lap with medium tyres. Yeah, Gavra, that is really critical. This is really sunny around here, as it always would be in Spain. So, but yeah, we're gonna see who can possibly take the win around here as Rafe is putting a praise. Good luck. Hopefully you'll get better in the future. But yeah, obviously you're a really fast driver. You showed your mettle last race weekend. But yeah, so obviously Ben Roberts, absolutely great lap from the man in the Mercedes car, which looks like a bit worse than the last season's Mercedes in real life, because testing has ended actually today with all the Aston Martin, the Alpines, all the cars testing. But now we're going through the formation lap, so I'm going to check if there is any. So yeah, here's your positions. I didn't unfortunately say it, but that's fine. There's only 3 people on the medium tires, so that they're gonna look for to try to get the this aggressive medium to soft, which proves really hard because you want to try to extend as much, because in 4 or 5 laps ND the tires could go off. So obviously, how do you think the drivers will manage the tires today?
I think this race will probably be played out by strategy. I think the people on mediums will do very well, because I'm sorry, but it's kind of, it's harder to get heat into the tires for the mediums and hards, but it's very easy to overheat the softs. So the people on the softs might want to take a bit of care, or they could they could try to take care and take it out very long, take the softs very long, or they could go all out on them and pit early for hards and try to get to the end.
Yeah, so that's really true, but it's really difficult to try get really good tyre saving. But as Liam and McNeve get disqualified from sessions, not from the race, don't worry. It's just because they maybe made contact during, but now as the one who I think DNF'd, which I think got hit or rear-ended by Lowline, which has had a 5-place grid penalty for that. So it started from P11 after qualifying P6. So yeah, but let's see. ND. So let's see who's gonna lead into turn 1. So we only have 3 medium runners in the race, but now everyone is gonna start loading up. It's obviously Bugmaster, so it's 5 red lights on our drivers, but now they're gonna start putting up the throttle as now Ben Roberts is gonna lead the way, and it's lights out and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. Ben Roberts gets a really good start. Oh, this is a big crash. The Racing Point has actually rear-ended the Renault, so I think that was really bad. But as Moksha takes the lead into the first corner, so I think he had a better start. As now the Ferrari and the McLaren go wheel to wheel, Liam and Jimson, but now as Liam gets taking the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix, so that is really, as now wheel to wheel action between the 2 Red Bulls of Y and Low Lions. They wheel to wheel, they're using a lot of overtake, and now going to turn 5, they're going to still wheel to wheel as Y gets past, as now Low Lions still goes nose in, or as they nearly make contact, as now going through turn 7 and 8, they manage to stay, but most drivers got a bit unscathed.
There's a Ferrari round. Liam 567 is round at turn 7, I believe that is.
Yes, that's turn 7 and 8. He's actually spun, so that's really not good for that. But Rafe is, yeah, it was a really bad start for Ben Roberts. Did not go his way. So as now they're going wheel to wheel, Rainsy and Liam. So now as Liam gets past, but that was really unfortunate for the 2. JP Surreal and Roy Rainsy. I think the Racing Point, I think, did a bit of a Hamilton, which basically means that he touched, I think it was Rainsy touching the rear right tire of J&B Surreal. Then they did a big crash. As now Low Lions going down the inside of that, but as now as there's sector 1 yellow flag, so someone spun as, oh no, Lolo has retired. What has happened? So now he's going to go on board with Liam. What happened? Oh, and he's actually spun. It's a virtual safety car. So he's spun into going into turn 4. That's really, really unfortunate. As Orange he hits for hards. We could have extended possibly, but he has wing damage, as Gavra said in the chat. As Liam gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. So that is really unfortunate for the man, which is unfortunately spun at the first laps. Bit of carnage in the first opening laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. But now I'm gonna obviously now exit the camera type because you'll be mad now not to see but now the virtual safety car should be ending shortly. But yeah, good start from Moksha, wasn't it? Was it Andy?
Yeah, it was a really good start from Moksha. He managed to jump Ben Roberts. I wasn't expecting Orange to get that good of a start because he's obviously on the medium tire. But I'm really upset for him now. He had a really good strategical advantage on Moksha and Ben Roberts, and now that's just gone out the window.
Yes.
You could maybe get a good stint on the hards though.
Yeah, yeah, that's really true. But now, Lowline's got past Jimso, so from 11th on the grid, he's back to his qualifying position. So he's really, really annoying. Yeah, it is very annoying. On the low. Hello, mate. But yeah, really mad. It's really annoyed. I think you lost the car or the rear. I think maybe you possibly have gone wide, but it's now some drivers are spaced out. Gavra, I think on the Lolo's accidentally lost the rear end of the cars. Lowline's looking for the move, so it's charging right now. Obviously, Peter's on the slow and medium tyres, but it's now the wear's going to start kicking in. As Katumi says, nice. The safety car will help to recover that crash for JMB and Range. Annoying as hell when something like that happens off the line. Yeah, it's really true, Katumi. It's very, very annoying. Because obviously he lost the rear. But now Lowline's going to try and go down the inside of turn 1. Pretty comfortable pass possibly, and yes, he gets past that Alfa Romeo, moves into 5th place. So he's really on fire at the moment and going into the P5. As now Ben Roberts is at the moment P2, the man from pole position. As now Moksha locked up, but as now hello Kevin Jutsi in the chat, and hello his circuit's not for me. I was losing rear. Yeah, it's really easy to lose rear, especially in a turn 9. But as now Jimson I think is approaching turn 9 now, as now Jimson from that bad grid penalty or no DNF as you say, as I think someone's dipped in the gravel. As now Jimson's closing in, so this is going to be interesting. About Ben Roberts is in the DRS, so could Mox have done a mistake which costed Ben Roberts going to DRS? So we're going to have to watch this. He's using his overtake, so he's definitely going for the move on board with the Mercedes. He's going to try go down the inside as he had a bit of a look up on the front right. So that is really close there. As Jimson going down the inside into turn 1 on low line as they nearly make contact as they had some rubbing wheels. As January 2004 gets the fast lap, the wheel to wheel going to turn 4 and see who's going to get it. As Lola gets a nice dive round the outside, as now they're gonna and Jimson nearly puts his neck as his nose in, but as now Ben Roberts is really close to the Williams, so maybe the Williams is struggling for grip, as Ben Roberts is feeling really confident. So Gavin Jutsi working a lot. Yeah, pretty casual in the chat. So yeah, so Ben Roberts is getting close. So yeah, ND. So I think the Williams is madly strong as Ben Roberts pulls into the pits, so he's probably going to look for an undercut attempt but now Jimson's gonna try and look past. So ND, now everyone's gonna try and look for him for the pits. Do you think it's too early to go for the pits, or is the exact good time to come in?
It really depends. I think if you can make the strategy work, it's fine to come in. But if I'd say maybe give it maybe 2 more laps, you could easily make it to the end on mediums without doing much tire management.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to make a really good strategy. Obviously, to get that perfect bang on strategy, you have to practice the strategy, get used to it. As why is not commentating? It's me and ND, which are actually commentators. The yellow
We have
flag
yellow
in
flags.
sector 2. Oh, is that's McNeve going really wide to turn 5? So that's a bit unfortunate. So that a bit of a sigh of relief for Ben Roberts, because if he didn't ghost it, that would be um, very hefty there, a hefty whack on the rear wing of the McLaren. But yes, I am really young. Um, yeah, I was commentating alongside Tiger for some scenarios. It is me, Zexify, if you guys are asking or wondering. But yeah, so yeah, Gavra is, and yes, I am. Everyone's now saying I'm young, but now as MRCS is going, as he's gone really wide out of the chicane. Let's see both ERS, as now MRCS barely had ERS. He's depleting all the ERS he possibly has. He's gonna try and go for the move, as now they're gonna try and look, as he's not gonna go for the move because he's so far behind. But now both of them, there's barely any ERS to deploy in their cars. But now Ben Roberts is right behind Moksha. This is gonna be a big fight for the win, because obviously when you win, or when you win the race, you're going to be the championship leader. So one of these drivers could take the championship crown lead at the moment. Not the championship crown, it's early doors. But as Ben Roberts is going to the DRS, so yeah, but indeed, so Ben Roberts is looking really confident, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking really confident. He's been putting Moksha under pressure. We have yellow flags. I think that's a Renault who's gone a bit slow, but I think he's okay now. But going back to Ben Roberts, he's been putting Moksha under a lot of pressure. I was actually watching Moksha only Moksha's had a mistake. And Ben Roberts is through.
Yeah, so he's lost the rear on the exit, so maybe he's put too much throw, as now Ben Roberts is basically the leaders now. They're going to go wheel to wheel, going into turn 1. He's going to try, and as they go wheel to wheel, as Ben Roberts locks up, as now they're going wheel to wheel, going through turn 3. This is for the lead. Now this is getting really serious, as now Ben Roberts is going to try and look for the move. They're going wheel to wheel, going to turn 4. As I think as Y going, as it's a spinner for Low Lion, as now Moksha and Ben Roberts still wheel to wheel, as now he's going to go for the cutback. Now going to turn 6 for this little king left-hander, and Ben Roberts keeps his position, which is basically a net P1 at the moment, as our Peter has not pitted yet in his Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, can I just butt in there? I think one to really watch at the moment is Jimson, who's actually coming up on Yanni. But I was looking at his laps. He had a purple. He went purple as we have a red bull.
He's retired.
Low Lion's out.
Oh, I think he's retired.
Oh, that's a AlphaTauri off as well. MRCS he resets to the track. I don't think he lost any positions, but that's a serious dent in his confidence, I'd say.
Yeah, so I don't, Mjaho is gaining on this battle. Yes, he is, so that's going to give him advantages. And now Isaac Smell with the DRS gets comfortably ahead of him now. There's now Moksha and Ben Roberts, the two ones to watch at the moment, and Jimson, which has actually got past Janny, I think. But at the moment, it is Ben Roberts with a net race lead. As Pierrick saying, I want to see Alpine livery on the game. Yeah, true. It's just truly absolutely great. But as now Moksha is coming through, charging through. Now gonna try and get past the Mercedes car. But now we're gonna try and see, can Moksha get past, because Moksha had a really big tank slapper. As Kevin Jutsi says, hello to Pierrick. Yeah, hello to everyone in the chat. Hope you're having a good Sunday, the last day of the weekend, which doesn't sound great. But as now, obviously, we're going to highlight this battle. This is for the lead, as Ben Roberts is gaining. As now, look at them, they're weaving. He's going to try and break the toe of Moksha. And now as they're going close, but he doesn't get close enough. What is weekend?
You'll find out tomorrow when you go to school.
Yeah, that's true. This is basically the weekend league, so yeah, basically takes place every Sunday. And for like 10 races. So if you guys are wondering, this is the calendar. So it's basically this track, and then we have Canada, then we have Belgium, then we have Mexico, and then we have Brazil again. So that's the tracks where all these drivers are gonna go navigate through. But most of these tracks are not like tyre wear, as Canada's not really bad on tyre wear. As well as Brazil, it's a bit bad on tyre wear, as Low Lion, I'm saying I'm so stupid. I don't know what happened there, mate. I think you had two
We've all
spins.
been there, mate.
It always happens. F1, it always happens. As now Ben Roberts is closing in on our Peter, so he's actually going to try and go for the soft strategy, because you obviously have to go extend as much as possible. As Gavra's asking,
McNeve's out.
McNeve is out of the race. So 3
Crashed
DNFs
into
is
the
a
pit
safety
lane.
car.
Safety car.
That's a safety car. And what has happened? Just going to ride on board with J and B to see what has happened. So
He hit
I
the
think
pit lane. Hit the pit wall.
hit the pit wall. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Hit the pit wall.
I've done the exact same thing when I've been racing offline. It's such a hard pit lane to push hard into and get right.
But that is unfortunate. That is so unfortunate, especially hitting the pit lane. Basically, I get on a run, go for a I go for a move, spin, get no damage, I get spun again and crashed out. Well, that's really unfortunate, mate. You were looking really strong, but obviously it's another race, so you can still claw back some points. Kevin Jutsi is not great, but very close and exciting. I'm just doing at the top positions. Yes, it is Pierrick. Obviously all the leagues coming in tomorrow. So obviously the academy going in tomorrow. Then the next 2 days we've got the freshman, and then we've got the Premier Series, and then we have the Super League with Pierrick races in. But as now all
Ben
the
Roberts
drivers,
pits.
as Ben Roberts pits, so actually could have stayed out. But as now he's gonna go. As now Moksha stays out. Ben Roberts, I think, and he's gone in the mediums. He's gone in the
Whoa.
medium tyres. Then he's absolutely mixed up the strategy. It's a Mercedes where he mixed up the tyre set. So that means Ben Roberts is going to be on the medium tyre. He could have went on the soft tyres to try and get a big challenge to all the drivers. Our Peter as on the soft, as 5th position. It's absolutely amazing. So what are you going to say there, Andy?
I'm just thinking, did Ben Roberts just switch strategists with Ferrari strategists? I don't know. Something might have happened.
Yeah.
There might have been a radio miscommunication.
Yeah. I thought same as Ravens 2 races will be so close. Mara's take really strong this season. Yeah. Really strong. But obviously, all drivers gonna start piling up. But obviously, if you're gonna wonder, these is the penalties. Only 2 penalties at the moment with Ben Roberts and MRCS with a penalty. So all drivers gonna not pile up. So this is why you don't DNF low line. You could have got a safety car. But if it was terminal damage, then that would be really unfortunate. But Obviously, if you're still in the race, then it'll be really a good treat for you. But after 5 races, almost 7.27 points leader. That's how close it is. Yeah, it's pretty close. Super League is gonna probably provide a lot of races. Now I think the safety car's not coming in just yet, but now Ben Roberts is P6 on the medium tyres, so he's screwed up his strategy really bad, which is absolutely unfortunate. But as now here's the tyre information, and all the from 6th to 12th, 6th to 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I've made a 2-stop because they appear again. Oh, as Jimson goes really wide, as I think he hit, as he nearly hit, so nearly a penalty. As I'm gonna check the chat real quickly. Yeah, everything is possible. I don't know what else it is. Oh, what's happened
Ben
there?
Roberts, I think, touched Repeater there. Yeah,
Yes,
Repeater
he
and Ben
has.
Roberts have got penalties.
Yeah, so that might be
I just saw
removed
that.
by the stewards, unless if that was
Yeah.
intentional. So I think I'll get moved from the stewards, but he's almost got 8 seconds, so definitely get that removed because that was, because obviously, or unless it was an intentional thing. But I will also the Premier's close in front there. Yeah, loads of a big conversation between the prelim races and the Super League and the Premier Series, but now I think the safety car is coming in its lap. So MD, so who do you think, Moksha or Jaho, or possibly even Isaac Smart? Could they win the race?
I think my money is on Jimson at the moment. I think remember he started last. He's up into P4, and also I'm really interested to see what Repeater can do on fresh soft tires, and obviously Ben Roberts as well since he was leading. And then there's also from P8 to P12 have all got fresh tires, so they might make a charge through the field. So it's going to be a very interesting restart. Hopefully not as hectic as the actual race start, because the actual race start was just carnage.
Yeah, really. Yeah, so we're going to focus on Jimmy, but now Moksha's going to lead the way in the safety car. So we have a bit of a iffy camera. As now Moksha has, as is now Majato trying to warm up. So it's now Moksha, everyone's using the overtake. As now everyone's going as wide, it's wheel to wheel, where there's going to be probably 3 wide going into turn 1. As there is a 3 wide nearly, as now they're going wheel to wheel. As Rainsy and Y, now they're going to go for turn 3. As Moksha spun, no, he's not spun. He's actually, I see spun as Isaac Smart is out. So that is absolutely unfortunate. What has happened there? As Moksha,
I think I just saw there. I think it was either Moksha had a very bad restart and Majeho passed him, and then it was kind of scruffy at the back. And then I think Ben Roberts had a really good go at him on turn 3. As actually Jimson and MRC, there's contact, loads of contact with going into turn 7. There's even more contact as the Rebel of Whaley hits the back of the McLaren there.
This is this is nearly 3 wide going into. There's a lot of action. For
there's
the lower points,
everywhere.
there's front wings flying everywhere. This is as it's a wheel to wheel between the race point and the Ferrari. As the Y's got everyone's got front plate damage. As that is Gibson, he's got actually front wing massive damage. His entire end plate is gone. As Y has got a lot of front wing damage, so front wing's flying off as he pits. So man, who we're going to watch that was really unfortunate for him, as he was absolutely on the great, but that was a lot of front wings just flying, like yeah, oh my OMG, yeah, really I'm not really there's now Y as JMP just gone through him like a piece of cake. So that was really easy. I fell overtake on him, but Ben Roberts has got that 3-second time penalty. So obviously he's got to extend a 3-second gap, unless he's got 8 seconds of penalty because he accidentally hit the back of our Peter, or which is really unfortunate. So I think he'll get that removed from the stewards. But now we're gonna have a look at this little battle. This is for the lead, but let's see, can Mjaho win on track, or is he gonna win by penalties?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting as now it's getting really
Yellow
overcast.
flags.
As I see, yellow flags
Emma.
MRCS, I think, as he's got some
Yeah.
damage on the left, so maybe he's hit the wall. As now Ben Roberts is really close at the back end of that Alfa Romeo. As now JB Surreal is wheel to wheel with Liam. Now they're going to go through turn one. He's going to go round down the inside, and now as they nearly make contact, as JB Surreal squeezes in the man in the Ferrari, as that was pretty hairy there, as Ben Roberts is at the rear of Jaho. So Ben Roberts is flexing his muscle. He's going to try and to get that, but now DRS is obviously enabled, so drivers are going to have more speed on the straight lines. Ben Roberts gets another penalty for 3-second time penalty.
Turn 7, Whaley and Moksha were going wheel to wheel. I just saw that there.
As Ben Roberts dives down the inside, so I think pushes Jaho a bit wide there, but that's 6-second penalty, so that's his win out of contention. So that's at least a net P4 or P5, as Jimson gets a penalty for multiple warnings. But that is utterly interesting. Moksha, a really wretched final couple of laps on the race, were really bad. Obviously after the safety car restarts, I think he's lost it, and Isaac Smart, they've lost it as well. I think he's hit the back end. Now he's going to go through Y. He's using overtake. He's going to try and get past on the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. It's getting really overcast, but I don't think there's going to be enough time to rain, or it's just going to be overcast as Moksha gets past, as now Gianni's right behind the Red Bull, so maybe he's losing some pace in the Red Bull, as now they're going to go nearly wheel to wheel. He's going to have a look, going to down the inside of turn 4. They're wheel to wheel, as the Renault is going to try and get, now they nearly scrub wheels, is now going through turn 5, as they're still wheel to wheel, neither of them giving an inch to each other. They're still going wheel to wheel from turn 7 as Y spins, and that is absolutely unfortunate. As resets the track, I think you're able to do that, but now as Ben Roberts,
I don't think you are.
Yeah, so Ben Roberts is not going to win, but he's going to take the checkered flag to win Spanish Grand Prix after very action-packed, as he's going to win, but Jaho wins as Ben Roberts has actually got another penalty, so that is 16 seconds worth of penalties. So that means Ben Roberts is 5th by 0.064 seconds. So Jaho wins by on the track really comfortably, as Y gets a penalty for multiple warnings, as now he's crossing the line. Jimson, really unfortunate, really wretched race for him, as now he crosses the line. Very unfortunate, as this P11. A reset to track is a disqualification, so that is that means really not good. Pierre, is that for every single race?
Can I actually just say there, I have to give Driver of the Day to Orange. Not that I have any power to do that, but Orange drove a great race, managed to get it back up to P2 after that lap 1 incident. Well done to yourself, Orange. That was incredible.
Yeah. So it's not the finish yet. Don't everyone, you might think it's late time to leave, but we got one more race. So you obviously got a one-shot qualifying and a 25% race again. So that's what's going to happen. So so you can still see here, very action-packed race, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah, action-packed, very crazy. I think the drivers might need to tone it down for the next race, just a little bit maybe.
Yeah, it was pretty hairy, but Jaho is first, Orange to P2, RP to P3, the Portuguese 2-3, and Jamie Stewart P4, Ben Roberts P5 from pole position after a really wretched, after penalties, but Moksha P6, Liam P7, Jani 2014 P8, MRCS P9, YP10, Jimson R19P, and then this is DNFs, Edric Smart, McNeve, and a Low Lion, and then on the low are the 4 DNFs. Yeah, so ND, so this is gonna be now one shot qualifying. So obviously, it's obviously 1 lap to decide it. So obviously, it's less grip. So we're gonna see what is going to happen. So ND, do you expect drivers to push more on the limit more than the 18 minutes qualifying?
If I was driving, I wouldn't personally. I think it's more about getting to the end without getting your lap invalidated. I'd say is more important in this since it's one shot quality and you don't have another attempt. So I'd say getting a lap in instead of going as fast as possible is probably a better shout to do.
Yeah, Reefers, you should be the champ. Yeah, Reefers has dominated last season, but after his hand surgery, he can unfortunately attempt. He will come back stronger. Hopefully, as now we're gonna see ND. So obviously, the drivers are gonna go at the back. They're gonna try and get on the limit because it's really difficult to get a good lap in one shot qualifying, especially with strict track limits. You got to be really careful and play safe, especially in the easy invalidation corners in turn 1, turn 7 and 8, and then exit of turn 15. So do you guys watch? Yes, I did watch a bit of F1 testing. Obviously Mercedes had a bit of a wretched day 1 and day 2, but day 3 they managed to claw back some pace in the Mercedes. But yeah, Pierrick, Alpine, your franchise team, doing very good. So yeah, really interesting. So but yeah,
Can I actually just say,
yeah,
I think a Gavra Racing F1 Fantasy would be a brilliant idea
yeah, that would
for
be
the new
really
season.
yeah,
That'd be a great
true.
idea.
Yeah, so yeah, we are watching. We watched some F1 testing. Aston Martin's looking strong, Alpine looking strong, especially Red Bull looking really strong. After the regulations of 2020, obviously next year we'll have the cars which are gonna exactly look different. As now all the drivers are now loading in, so we're gonna see. So I'm gonna bring you guys the best and the precise lap commentary of as much as possible. So, but yeah, so all of you guys are gonna sit back. So your favourite?
Grab some popcorn and a drink.
And Ferrari, yeah. Yeah, Ferrari are looking really strong. Everyone must agree. Ferrari's clawed back a lot of pace on the straight, as Spinotto said, or Binotto, whatever you can say. Pierre QR French is now going through into turn 1. I'm going to spectate a Moksha for this one. As now you want to go into turn 1, you want to use the curb on the left, going to turn 1, going down through, go to 4th, trying to mount the curb on the left hand side, now go wide, now going to try and go turn 3, you want to pin down your throttle as much as possible, now you're going to try and now use as much track as possible on the left hand side. Low line has retired, as now go through turn 5, you want to use as much throttle on there, now going through turn 5, you want to use as much track on the right, as bit of track on the right hand side, going to turn 7 and 8, easy to invalidate, easy to lose the rear as he makes that really nicely, smoothly. Now going through the right hander as he nearly switched off, as he nearly actually, I think, got some oversteers. Now going through to turn 10 as he locks up hardly, as now he's going through turn 12, and now going approaching turn 13, you want to use the curb on the left hand side, and now touching the curb, trying to skim the curb. As
Ben Roberts.
Yeah, so as now Moksha is going through turn 16. As now that he's going to cross the line, as Rinchy gets pole position. So Really interesting from him. Yeah, so AlphaTauri have clawed back some pace lately. So yeah, so loads of teams clawing back pace. But now here is the result. So we have Orange P1 and Jameson only 95 100ths behind, or 95 milliseconds if you wish. P2, Jaho P3, Y P4, JMB Cyril P5, Moksha P6, our new championship leader, if I'm correct. And then we have Liam P7, MRCS P8. We have RP to P9, Honolulu P10, and Ben Roberts P11 on the medium tyre on the 122.0. As Gianni, Amaknev and Lowline don't have a time to got disqualified, but it was a 1:15.873, which was the fastest time in the qualifying session. But yeah, ND, the top 10 get obviously a free tyre choice. So do you think so obviously it'll probably
It's
be
raining.
and it's raining. And that's raining. So
Whoa.
so if you guys could excuse me, I'm gonna go for a bit quick drink. So and if you take over for a bit, and then I'll be back with you.
Alright, lads. Ça va, Pierrick? Just wanted to sprinkle that in. Hope you're well. Everyone else in the chat as well. We've got, what are your predictions? Any predictions in the chat? I hope there's some good ones. Do you think Orange will get a good start?
Sorry everyone, I'm back. But heavy rain. Yes, I heard a bit of a prediction. So I think predictions will be really interesting. But it's heavy rain, but it's not heavy enough to be a full wet. But it's gonna be a wet rain. This is what all we've been looking for. You can call me Piero. It's easier. Okay. Oh yeah, because your normal name's Pierrick. I was having to set things up a bit. Yeah, obviously some drivers have not even practiced in the rain, so this is gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting to see rain race. Yes, it is. It's gonna be an absolute mayhem race. It's gonna obviously you can all predict it's gonna be carnage into turn 1 ND. So do you think
Orange
is actually on the gravel? So so loads of drivers are not practice. So ND, do you think not practicing in the rain for a certain race can affect your race when you're in like a rain-soaked race?
Depends what assists you have on, I think. If you have traction on it, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, if you have full traction. Sorry.
Yeah. Turn 4 is going to be a handful, I think, because it's a handful in the drive, because you can make up so much time on someone. Depends how much you want to push the limits, because if you push too hard, you're off on the grass. But if you don't push enough, you're losing so much time. So it's really who wants to go quicker, and I think it's going to be even tougher in the rain. I think turn 3 and turn 7 or turn 8 will be very difficult as well. I think turn 10 will be hard as well, but it's very easy to spin there in the dry.
Turn 10 is pretty kind of medium, like difficulty to spin. Yeah, Gavra racing is always good to watch. Not good when you're racing. Yeah, true. It really entertains. But as now, obviously, I think the easiest ways to spin is actually turn 4. What Rainsy did, he went too wide and brake too late, and especially of turn 7 and 8, and turn 9 is my predictions where it's going to be a bit of carnage. But we're gonna see who can win this race. Let's see, will it be a rain-soaked race, or it's gonna be dry towards the end of the race?
Yeah.
But it's now
it's gonna
all
be hard.
the drivers. It will be hard. As now all drivers are gonna go. It's obviously Bugmasters. Can blame them, as now all the drivers are going to now start revving up their engines, as now it lights out and away we go for the second race of the weekend league, as Rainsy gets away nicely as it's free wide going into turns 3 wide between the three drivers. As there's I think as an Alfa Romeo of Peter actually gone off the track, as there's loads of lag and it's 3 wide going into turn 3. As all that's Liam's hit the wall, and that's all there's so much carnage. Oh my days! There's a lot of carnage and loads of drives all over the track as Jaho takes the lead as the two Renaults actually have made contact. So yeah, absolute carnage going into turns 1, 2, 3 as now as Liam gets pushed off the track by McNeve. So not really good start from Range. He's all the way down in actually P4. So from the start, not good start from the man. Yeah, but obviously, Taiwan will be difficult as MRCS is as Jimson's actually as Ben Roberts I think is making a move, Moksha's making a move on as there's a wheel to wheel action. It's carnage. There's so much carnage in the opening lap as MRCS has spun and the two Renaults are really unlucky. Yes, they are. Soon to be Alpine. Absolute carnage into the turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was really big carnage, wasn't it? We were expecting that, Andy.
Yeah, I was McNeve goes to the last chicane, and I was really expecting someone to spin it off the line, but everyone kept it very well. And I'm really upset for Liam 567. He had another incident, but he's actually back up into P7. He's had 2 lap 1 incidents, both quite unfortunate. We've got 3 people in the pits, Moksha Lowline and Isaac Smart, both needing wing changes, I think.
Yeah, as Lowline, Isaac Smart and Moksha are going definitely in for a wing chambers. Mem Jaho taking the lead after going really wide into turn 1 at the opening lap. As now he's taking the lead. Obviously there no driver I think has practiced at the moment as it looked, but now all the drivers are getting used to the conditions. As now is in P7. I think he hit the wall as it standed, but that was really unfortunate. As now yeah, so obviously Isaac Smart is close to Moksha, the previous race winner. Pretty bad start from the man in the Williams. But now we're looking through. Some drivers are a bit spaced out, but Ben Roberts is right behind the rear end of the Alfa Romeo. As Katumi in the chat saying it's got to hurt Paul Renault. Bit of deja vu. Yeah, really close. Yeah, really similar deja vu is now going good. And now as Ben Roberts is using overtake, both of them are definitely using overtake. They both are the exact same nearly amounts of ERS as Ben Roberts is now going to go into turn 1. He's going to go down the inside of our Peter as now he makes the move, stick nicely he does, as now he goes into 5th place and now going to try and try to get Wiley while 5327.
Yeah, Orange had a pretty bad start from pole position. Dropped down to P4, I think, now back up into P3. I'll be very interested to see if he can catch back up. But actually, Jimson's all over the back of Majeho at the moment to try and get that first position. As Majeho gets a bit wobbly there out of the corner there.
Yeah.
Might invite Jimson to have a little look now. A bit too far back though, but this is going to allow Orange to catch up now.
Yeah, so that is really interesting as now Jimson is right behind Njaho. So most drivers were expecting probably a drive unless they looked in the monitors before once your qualifier even begun. But now all drivers looking out spaced out at the moment. We're going to lap 4 now as now. It's easy to get ERS in the rain, but now they're going to start depleting the ERS. It's absolute carnage as Ben Roberts gets the fastest lap of the race at the moment, but now we're going to start looking as our Peter is ahead by a bit of Liam. JB Surreal is using overtake in his Renault. No drivers using overtake on the main straight of this track because it's really difficult to try and like maintain ERS. So obviously it's really easy to get ERS because you gotta like coast more, you gotta brake harder and brake much earlier. And you're supposed to go in rain. As Liam, I think, has hit the grass a bit. So obviously you don't want to go too fast in that. And there's
There's
a
yellow
yellow
flags.
flag as Moksha, I think, has got a bit of iffy there, as now as not really good for him. Yes, he was 3 seconds down, so he might have got a massive tang slapper. But as man, which ND, so obviously Jameson's getting close. But do you think the man who you said would be the driver to look out for? Do you think he will be the man to look out for again in this race?
Uh, I'm not actually too sure because it doesn't seem like he's going to line up a move on Majeho anytime soon. I think it's more Orange who might. Well, Orange doesn't seem to be catching them up by that much. That he's gained about 2/10 on them in the past lap, which isn't too bad. But if Jimson and Majeho start scrapping for P1, there might be a bit of a or Orange team might catch back up, and there might be a three-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, so obviously we're gonna now see Ben Roberts is right behind Y. He's gonna try and look for the move to get fourth, as he's actually got trying to have a look down the inside into turn 5. So Ben Roberts is picking up the pace after a pretty poor start from him, as Y just gets a 3-second penalty for the multiple warnings going into turn 7 and 8. So we're gonna have it on board with the man in the Mercedes. So we're gonna go like the Red Bull camera, because that was pretty poor camera there from the camera there from 2020. But I think the rain is not getting worse, or it's getting drier, as MRCS is right behind the man, as JB Surreal is right behind. He's gonna go down the inside of the man. Now we have a pretty poor camera from the both of them, so now we're gonna think JB Surreal get pushed off the track. So absolute carnage, and lots of push offs for some drivers. But now as Orenzi gets the fastest lap of the race. So here's the position changes, the update for that. So Ben Roberts looking up to drive the day in overtaking. Only 3 drivers made the stop, which are the 3 last positions. So yeah, but drivers gonna try and look to pit, or try to be very, very safe. I'm gonna try and save as much time as possible. As Jaho gets a bit of a moment there with some oversteer on the curb in exiting turn 5. So that is very, very can prove a bit costly. But now there's a bit of a, now Orange's getting involved in that battle. It's actually a second behind in the racing point. Soon to be Aston Martin, as now the McLaren is right behind the race leader. But now we're looking at Ben Roberts is 8 tenths behind. But I think the closest gap at the moment is Jimson R19. So it looks like Jaho and Jimson R19 look like to be on similar places. Now they're gonna go both of them on the straight. As Jaho gets a bit hairy off the as Jaho gets a bit hairy off there, but I think game's a bit tight, so maybe he got a track limit warning for that, because he gained a bit of time, so that was a bit not nice. But it's really difficult for track limits, gotta give credit for that. But now Jimson is finding the grip in this car, as now he's 2 tenths behind, so he's gonna try to look for a move. We're in lap 7 at the moment, 10 laps or 11 laps if you want to be accurate, till the end of the race. So yeah, really. So ND, so who do you think the driver to be seen at the moment, or the driver to have a look out for is at the moment?
I'd definitely say Orange. I feel like I'm turning into an Orange fanboy, but I'm really not. I'm just they've been very interesting in both these races, and I've actually been forced to eat my own words here by saying they might not catch up that much. They're now 7 tenths behind, gained by about around 1.3 seconds. They're now definitely in this battle for the first place now, which is going to be very interesting now. Oh, that's a nice commentator's curse, I guess. He gets a bit wobbly there. Has undone all the good work that he's done over the past four laps.
Yes, JB Cyril getting past MRCS in the Haas. He's on the points positions now. As the Haas is looking for a move down here, as JB Cyril was really defensive. As now Rangy's got past Jimson because he's went into the pits. So it looks like all the drivers are going to pit because Taiwan's absolutely bonkers or absolutely just mad around here because obviously Sector 1 and Sector 2 are like one of the and Sector 3 are all sector except from Sector 1 used the most time as Johnny gets past MRCS now going wheel to wheel because MRCS is in the pit. Commentators they of course, but because I accidentally said that they were wheel to wheel, but MLCS is in the pits for a new set of intermediates. So now as all the drivers haven't pitted yet, Jimson's on a fresh set of intermediate tyres, so he's gonna try and look for the undercut on Njaho possibly. So that would be very critical because tyre wear is very bad around here. As now our Peter looked like going for a move on that was Liam looking for a move into turn 10 on Peter. So that is the most interesting of the race.
As Orange and Majeho both pit.
Yeah, all the three, Ben Roberts and Rainsy have all pitted for that, but now as all the drivers are going into the pits, as now Peter and Liam are in the straight. There's a yellow flag.
Yellow flags.
As a spinner, and that is possibly someone at the back, and it's not MRCS, so maybe that was just maybe a coincidental thing. But now as we're now looking for Liam, which is right behind, as now there's a lot of overtaking because the Muckneve as I think on the low got a penalty. I don't know, he looked like he was getting held up or like serving his penalty, but I don't think he got a penalty for track limit warnings. But now Liam is under control, trying to navigate past our Peter, the man who led the race but is now still leading the race, as Liam is right behind him now as he goes wide, as he nearly stepped out. I'll tell you, if you go through turn 9 like that, then I'll say good luck because you really easily could step out and just say bye Ria, you're sliding. So yeah, really good news for Liam there. But now Majaho is behind, the leaders are coming behind, so this could really help Jimson possibly get past, isn't it? And this bit of traffic from the two of them could really affect the race.
Yeah, I think it might play a bit of havoc. I think Repeater, I don't know if they're actually teammates in the weekend league. I'm not 200% sure, but if they are, I think Repeater will probably let Majeho pass, but maybe try hold up Jimson, which is, I guess it's allowed because it's not like any blue flags or anything, so it's perfectly okay to do, but it might not be the greatest sportsman thing to do.
So yeah, so Pierrick, the tracks for the season are, so this is Spain, round 1. Round 2 is then Canada, around Montreal. Then round 3 is Belgium in the wet, I think. And then we have round 4, Mexico. There will be a very difficult track for tyre wear and track limits, but and as well as Brazil, which is
Ooh.
really difficult for track limits in the Senna S's. So basically, this is the thing to
Majejo's
simplified,
wide.
and
Jimson's
Jeho
having a look.
goes wide. Yes. As I was talking there, and Jeho, throwing away the race win looks like, after a bit of that, right, is yeah, Spain, Canada, Belgium, Mexico, and Brazil are the calendars simplified. I just say there's now the two teammates. I was going to play team strategy here, or team radio, or whatever they're doing right now. Is now they're not doing any team orders at the moment, so is now the Alfa Romeo of Peter looking very slow in the Alfa Romeo. So, but yeah, we're going to see what can happen as Jeho, as he gets past. There's some contact on the right hand side as now Jameson is getting involved. They're going to wheel to, and they nearly will wheel to wheel as Jameson's right behind the gearbox. I think he's pushed him. Yes, Jameson has pushed Peter, which he basically just took the place with happiness. Yes, no problem there, Pierre. But yeah, that was really crucial. That was really important. But James, I think, shoved or rear-ended a bit of his road range to getting past Arpita. So Arpita losing pace in his Alfa Romeos as he gets past, as he just about fends off the racing point. So yeah, but this is now Jimson right behind Jeho, and his teammate Peter right behind him. So it's an Alfa Romeo McLaren and Alfa Romeo sandwich. But yeah, so loads of drivers looking a bit spaced out as Orangey and is the Alfa Romeo's teammate of Majejo. Peter is now under attack from Orangey, the man who's looking really strong in the first race. Is now they're going to go wheel to wheel going through turn one, as now they're looking like, as he makes the move stick really nicely. So good move from Orangey, the man who ND was looking out for at the race. So he is really showing that at the moment.
Yeah, I was a brilliant move from Orangey, I must say. It was like one I was commentating on earlier on from Wolfie on the Gran Turismo series, which you should definitely check out if you're not looking at it already. Shameless plug, I know, but yeah. Orangey has been held up a lot by RP2, though. The gap's gone to 2.6 seconds, so it's gonna. I'd say they'd maybe be able to catch back up. Whatever I've said about Orangey so far has gone the opposite for them, but hopefully this time they'll be able to catch back up.
Yeah,
And,
so I had a bit of a drink, sorry. What are you going to say there?
oh, nothing. There's actually yellow flags in Sector 2. JMB Surreal, no, not JMB Surreal. Yanni 2014 had an issue, I think.
Oh,
Not too sure though.
yeah, that's not 100%, but yeah, so I got a bit of refreshed after that. So, but yes, JMB Surreal closing in on is on the McLaren of McNeve. So he is gonna try and look for the move around turn, I think number 1, as they're going through. Is now as he goes through Downey and trying to look for the move to turn 13. So diving as a bit of a tank slapper as now as he looked for the move round the outside into turn 3. So he actually looked for a big move there. So that was really interesting. Now he's right at the back of him. Is now they're going to go wheel to wheel to turn 1. McNeve and JB Surreal. The McLaren versus McNeve, as now he makes the move stick. As why, yeah, he's going to try and win the race. But I think there is a strategy where you only can do one stop. And plus, if you guys are wondering, obviously puncture territory is 75%. So at the end of the race, so he's basically risking his race here, because he could. So he's definitely gonna pit out in the points. While he's trying to win the race without pitting. Yes, he's gonna try his best. As why not? He had nothing to lose. Yeah, Pierrick, absolutely true. Oh, Piero, sorry. Is now Jimson is behind Jaho for a bit of a while now. But as now everyone else looks spaced out. I'm afraid of a puncture. There will definitely be a puncture. I'll tell you that. Gavra, there will be a puncture for the drivers who are still staying out, such as Moksha, Isaac Smart, Low Lion, and Peter. These are the drivers who could be the biggest risk for a puncture in the final stages. As now, he's obviously losing a lot of time because he's in worn tyres. But obviously, I'm gonna get ready to say puncture. So, but he's still actually behind on his time by 3 times. A good bit of a rear, a bit of loose rear. But now Jimson's losing some time because he's got 1 lap older tyres, which is really a big chunk amount in this track, obviously, because tyre wear, as I said, is absolutely bad. As now Jimson gets a little bit loose on the rear, so maybe he's starting to lose some tyre wear, struggles possibly already. As now why he's somehow still going for the race win. So maybe he could have a message where he has to pit for the regulations, for the tyre regulation, because sometimes if it's linked to like a once as it's no stop strategy, then that means you can like go without a stop. If it's like a one stop or 2 stop, you have to pit, because and then you'll get disqualified for not using a tyre wear, not pitting. Because if you don't pit, then you're basically gonna win the race, because unless if you're like in the front or like the midfield-ish areas. But now everyone looking spaced out, so obviously we're gonna have a bit of a deep into testing. So obviously Bottas having a bit of a gearbox issue in his Mercedes car after his installation lap, which really reducted Mercedes' testing lap, as RCS gets a penalty for multiple warnings. As now Ende, so did you watch the testing, or did you like see the highlights of the testing which F1 posted on YouTube?
I actually watched the highlights. I didn't get the chance to see testing because my Sky Sports subscription ran out. I'm definitely going to get it back for the start of the season, though. But that's probably not what all you really care about, though.
Yeah, so as now we're into the penultimate lap of the race. Why has to pit, and he's in absolute danger, as now he's right ahead of Jaho. So that means Wally, he's using the overtake. He's using as much energy as possible. Jimson has more energy. Has actually got as much. Jaho's got 80% of energy. That is a lot. I say Wiley for the strategy. LOL. Yeah. So he is the driver of the day. I think Wiley would take the driver of the day, or Jimson. Or Rainsy possibly. But our Peter gets a penalty for a warning. So, who do you think is the driver of the day here in this race, Andy?
I'm not gonna say O'Reilly if that's what you're really asking for.
Yeah.
Really, I'd say probably Majeho or Mjaho. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Mjaho.
But yeah, I'd probably give it to him because he's led it comfortably. Well, not comfortably. He's absorbed all the pressure from Jimson at the moment, and has been driving very well. Kept first position for the majority of the time. Hasn't really. I'm actually surprised. Ben Roberts has been nowhere in this race compared to the last race.
Yeah, nowhere near the top 10 at all, which was really unfortunate. But now all of them are closed. So this is going to be a straight battle for the winners. Remember, Wiley has a 3-second penalty, so that win for him is out of contention. Which is very but obviously you can have your have a big clap for Wiley, because he's absolutely dominated this race, because he hasn't even pitted. So let's see, on board with the Red Bull, is he gonna get a puncture? If he doesn't, then he's probably like at maybe 85%. So he should be in puncture territory 100%. Now he's always getting some, as Rhea's getting loose, but now he's further actually carnage into this. There's 4 cars fighting for the win, as now Ben Roberts, the man who wasn't in contention a lot for the win, now all of them are rounding the final corner. Actually 5 cars, as Wiley wins the race, but Mjaho comes to win the Spanish Grand Prix, the sprint race of the first sprint race of the season. It is a race win for him. YP4. So maybe he didn't get the tyre regulation warning, so Y has worked his strategy absolutely perfectly. So now I'm so impressed of that. Really good, as now Gianni's right behind McNeve, now going through turn 9, so they're going to be the dry. So can Gianni make the final move, as now McNeve goes deep, and now he's going to go wheel to wheel through turn 12, 11 and 12 as he hits McNeve, as McNeve goes deep once again, as now they're going wheel to wheel going through turn 13, as he keeps the nose in, as he hits him, and he's done a kind of an Albon like move there, as Hamilton hit the Albon side pod, as he spun. So Gianni absolutely binned it, and he's out, because it's so difficult to overtake that. That's not overtaking, but yeah, it's been a crazy race. Jimson P2, so yeah, but Andy, very carnage race again, obviously at the start.
Yeah, we've had 2 great races. We've been very privileged, I think, tonight at a track, especially like Spain, like Catalonia.
Yeah, Spain. Yeah, especially this track. Yeah, that was a very difficult one. But yeah, the podium here it is. I think it was Mjaho. No, not Mjaho. Peter winning the race, taking the top step of the podium. As Mjaho. Oh, okay, then he's spreading the champagne. He's won the Grand Prix. His first Grand Prix win in Gavra, I think. So congratulations to him. But yeah, we're gonna now move on to the race results. And so this is the final race results and the sprint race. So here they are. GG everyone. Yeah, GG. As now Mjaho P1, Jimson P2, O'Rainsy P3, YP4, Ben Roberts P5, Moksha P6, Peter P7, Liam P8, Isaac Smart P9, Lowline P10, P11 is on the Lolo, P12 JB Surreal, P13 McNeve, and then only 2 DNFs. No, all drivers actually made it through the flag, so congratulations to all drivers actually making through the flag, as Gianni's P14 and MRCS take the last spot. So here is incidents, loads of incidents into lap 1, so I think yeah, loads of warnings and that, but yeah, so obviously yeah, so bye Pierrick, have a good night, have a good evening, good whatever, but yeah, so we're gonna start now saying a goodbye. So obviously next track's gonna be Canada, so that's gonna be interesting. Definitely 1000% interesting, because you have a lot of traction zones, especially turn 10 exit, the hairpin. But yeah, so hopefully everyone's enjoyed these 2 races. It's been absolutely eventful. Thanks for joining alongside me, Andy. Really appreciative. Really great race, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure to commentate alongside you for this race, and hopefully we'll be able to do it for the next few races for the rest of the season.
Yeah, really interesting. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, Gavra. Anytime. Been a pleasure. Um, but yeah, so hopefully you guys have a good evening, have a good whatever, wherever you are in the world. Make sure you're well. Obviously, Ray Fizz, if you're still watching, um, good luck with everything. Hopefully, you're still after that surgery on your hand. Hopefully, you're recovering nicely, smoothly for next race. So, but yeah, we're moving into Canada for the second race of the season. But yeah, so we're gonna have our last final goodbyes, and we're gonna say everyone bye and see you guys in next Sunday. But tomorrow, tune in for the Academy League pit for the first time. But yeah, so goodbye everyone and have a good evening.